Midsummer here, talking real estate. One of our Boston power players, Julie Etter from Etter Homes and Gardens out in the Norton area. Thanks for stopping by, Julie.
Thanks for having me, Chris.
We're in that time of year where we just made it through July 4th. In the dead heat of summer. People are kind of caught in regards to, is now the time to sell? What are your thoughts on that?
I think, I always say the best time to sell is when you're fully committed to it. But if you take a look at time frame from offer to close, there's still plenty of people looking to grab a place before the school year, right? So properties that you're pursuing now, you can close in time to settle your family. We look at summer vacation, what kind of mode? Summer's hot, is the market still hot? It is. Inventory's still down. We just take the opportunity to remind people, just because you're in vacation mode, what can that do to affect your sellability, right? And we just want to make sure that we're always putting our best foot forward, in terms of sometimes people get lax, they go away, the landscaping gets neglected, or the teenagers are home and their rooms don't get picked up before showing. All things that sound on their own insignificant, but it's all adding up to give you that portrayal of the great product. And with inventory so low, there's still such an opportunity. Again, people say, what's the best time of year to sell your house? Our numbers and our trends the past few years have continued right through summer. So we should not be in real estate market vacation mode because the market's not doing that.
And it's amazing how these mindsets that have been around for a long time.
Yeah.
Right? It's just the way real estate
spring,
works.
Spring. That's all they think. Yeah.
And it's really not the case. And specifically, at time right now, where inventory in the greater Boston area is still low.
Right.
There's a great opportunity right now. Like you said, people want to get in before the school year.
Right.
Now is a great time to sell.
Right. And plus you're coming off of spring trends. So we did have, the heat of the spring market, not just because it's spring, but just the past few months, which is now only going to add to strength of values coming off of that and having appraisers being able to lean on that. So things are good. Interest rates are still good. It's still opportunistic. And even if you're not, in a position where you have to line up for a school year, you don't want to be ignorant to inventory that does come up because, like we said, it is low. So always be on guard. And I think the biggest point is don't be married to any one time of year and don't assume that because it's summer, we should just put real estate on the beach because we can.
Great piece of advice right there. When you're committed to selling, connect with an agent, do it.
Right, exactly. Don't let your marketing go on summer vacation.
Yeah, great way to put it. Now, let's talk about pricing. I feel like a lot of people now go online and are constantly looking at Zillow or other ways to check out their value. How does that connect or disconnect from real pricing and
There's
what reality is?
No consistent relationship. There's many tongue-in-cheek responses when someone says, oh, Zillow says my house is worth this. Well, when's the last time Zillow was at your house, right? So whether they're often taking your assessed value, there's no consistent relationship between Zillow's estimate, assessed value, et cetera, to the real estate market. I always give my own personal example. I bought my house in 2013. Since then, we put an addition on that almost doubled the size of my house, and my individual market's gone up about 13 to 14%. Zillow sent me an email last week and told me my value's gone up 20 grand since I bought it. So I've got twice the amount of square footage and a market increase of 13%, but it's up 20 grand. So that's just my point. They have no idea. Their back office algorithms don't make sense. So there may be a convenience factor that they are similar, but the point is they're not reliable. Call a professional, have someone put their eyes on your house and give you a true market analysis.
Similar to that, assessed value, what does that mean and how does that not necessarily connect to the actual value?
Yeah, you see sometimes people will post, price below assessed value. Big deal. What's the market value, right? And you don't want the assessment to go up because that's what you're paying taxes on. But I've done studies to say which towns, what's the percentage? Is your real estate value plus or minus X percent based on your assessed value? And unfortunately, I have not been able to find a consistent relationship. So, we look at the appraised value, the market value, and the assessed value. In theory, you'd like them to all be pretty cohesive. They're not usually.
Just crazy. But
so I guess the easy answer, Chris, is just call a professional. Call me. Don't worry about online.
Julie,
just call me. Yeah.
Norton, Rentham area. Connect with Julie, julieetter.com.
Yep.
How are you seeing that market right now? I know you grew up in Norton. You do a lot of business in Rentham as well.
Yep.
Is it still really competitive or is things starting to slow down a little bit?
Things are competitive, like I said, with the lack of inventory and things still going in under 30 days. I mean, that's very indicative of lack of inventory, seller's market. But with Norton, we have the Dell Championship, the golf tournament that comes to TPC Labor Day, and we have people coming into town for I guess it's Xfinity Center now. Everybody will always call it Great Woods, but Rentham, we have a lot of outlet traffic. But they're just showing to be areas that have great commutability factor, strong school systems, and things to do, places to go, things to do around there, and you're not far from the beach.
And price point wise, it's pretty reasonable compared to other areas.
Yeah. I mean, that's the benefit as you go a little further out from the city, but it's still accessible. There's plenty of people living in that Norton, North Attleboro, Rentham area that's commuting to Boston or Providence and whatnot, but you do have that smaller town feel.
Thank you, Julie. And if you'd like to connect with Julie and her team directly, check out julieetter.com. Remember, follow us on Instagram at RETalkBoston. We have more tips just like this right here on boston.com.